The Puerto Rican princess Joseline Hernandez recently said that Wendy Williams tried to reach out to her after their heated exchange weeks ago, but Jocelyn says she's not here for it. Jocelyn says, I don't want to talk to that B word. Do you think this is a bad idea for Jocelyn to not make amends with Wendy Williams?
I think it's a horrible idea for Jocelyn to not make amends with Wendy Williams. Jocelyn has got to, she lets the moment overshadow what could be the possibility. She can't see the forest for the trees. I'll give y'all a little behind the scenes tea. I told y'all I filmed 2 shows for VH1 last week or whatever, and there was basically a directive to not speak about her. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the specials that I filmed were surrounding love and hip hop or whatever. And it's like, how do you have a love and hip hop conversation and not talk about Joseline Hernandez, one of the people who put that show on the doggone map? But it was suggested to me in a very subtle, roundabout way that, yeah, we're not to give her too much. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because for what Joseline does, let's not pretend like there is just this overabundance of opportunities for her. You don't go from Love and Hip Hop, girl. You're at Zeus, and I'm not shading Zeus because they're giving people a rebirth and she's making good money over there. But once that is over, where's you gonna go? You know what I'm saying? And you foster this mentality or this reputation of being difficult to work with or unpredictable. You see what she did on Wendy Williams. Jocelyn cursed me out on live television once before, and I couldn't even say anything back to her because the directive I was given by Mona Scott Young at the time was, these people are unpredictable. We know you got some sense and we're on live TV. So if things go left, can you please just not go left with it? So while she's sitting on TV cursing me out, I'm just sitting there taking it because, basically Mona asked me to.
Mm-hmm.
Jocelyn got to stop this. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is she's getting positively rewarded for negative behavior. It's cute right now, but she needs to look at people like Nene Leaks and some of the other people where they love you when they love you, but the very thing they love you for will be the very thing they use against you as a reason as to why they're not hiring you in the future. So I think Jocelyn needs to slow her roll just a little bit.
And Jocelyn is really funny, but she was supposed to be on this show too, but we couldn't let it happen. I mean, the unpredictableness of her nature, and I think like she's charismatic, she's beautiful, and she's actually funny. So if all you have to do is make a minor adjustment with how you deal with the media or just thinking of the big picture, make that adjustment so you have longevity and you don't fall by the wayside of some of these other reality stars that thought they were bigger than the moment, bigger than the entertainment business, bigger than the shows that put them on, and then have nothing. You don't want to go from being here to here because there's so many people willing to go wild out and take your spot and forget about you by next season. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more TJF after we come back. Welcome back to TJF with my two favorite fellas I hang out with on a Friday night, Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva. Now, before we went to break, Al, you didn't really get a chance to say anything about the whole Johnson Hernandez comment story. And lots of y'all in the YouTube chat had a lot to say. So, Al, what do you think about this?
Listen, regardless of her challenges with the English language, I really like Joseline Hernandez. To be honest with you, I think she's street smart and she obviously is very successful. She's making a lot of money. Now, does everything always come out of her mouth right? I don't think so, but I think the intent that she had when she was on Wendy Williams was on mark. I feel like it was just the messenger and how she said it that really came across brass and unprofessional.
She should have said it to Wendy off air. She should have said
Yeah.
it to Wendy off air. You don't show up on somebody else's platform in which you're being booked to help promote your show, in
Right.
essence, to put more money in your pocket and scold them. That's just not how it works. And it's a fine example of when keeping it real goes wrong. Yes, you can keep it real, but you don't scold nobody on their show.
Well, it's so interesting, Q. I agree with that. But think about Wendy Williams' career. She did the exact same thing when she was in her 20s. Joceline's in her 20s and she's feeling herself as an entertainer. And I feel like, you know, she came, it looked to me that she came to that show with an attitude.
First of all, she's not in her 20s. And this
Uh,
is the same thing that we do. We do this with Portia Williams and with Joseline. We make excuses for them and say, they're young, they're 20. She's like 30 something, closer to 40. Both of them are. And I feel like she's been around for a long enough time. She's got like 8, 9, 7 seasons on Love and Hip Hop. Like at this point, I get the first few years being green. I get the first few years like popping off at the mouth and saying stuff like that. But when you've got like this many years in the game, at some point, like you would think that there's been some kind of media training or some kind of like, listen, I know how you may feel about this woman personally, but this is the kind of Black media that's going to help people promote. It's going to promote your show.
Right.
And again, I agree. Maybe taking Wendy to the side or having a conversation with her or saying, listen, Wendy, I'm not feeling how you may have said X, Y, and Z about me, which, by the way, is not even true. Wendy consistently has shown love and has complimented Joseline. So I feel like she was trying to get a moment, and I don't know.
And it worked. I mean, we're talking about it now, and she set the internet, she set social media on fire. So I'm not, you know, owning it obviously, but I do say, you know,
it did work, but you won't get another opportunity to create another moment. So that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you want a slow dime or a fast nickel? You know what I'm saying? And she chose the fast nickel.
And stop thinking about just Wendy. Like beyond Wendy, then it's Jimmy Fallon. There's a bunch of other shows you can get on that are watching all these other shows. And I did Wendy, and then I went over to Jimmy Fallon. And like, you want to be able to elevate and go to all the shows so they can all promote your show. The object here is to get the most amount of eyeballs on your show, on your network, so you can just increase your paycheck. Anyways, moving on. Joseline, I think you're funny. I think you're beautiful, actually. But like a little bit of media training, because like, what are you fussing with talk show hosts for? Like, check her off camera and then move on.